Namaste everyone, welcome to our 29th World Yoga Festival and the 8th International Day of Yoga celebration. Today's our topic is importance of the Srimad Bhagavad Gita in yogic life. Our guest speaker will be Acharya Dr. T.P. Shashimarji, the chairman of the Shiksha and the former scientist at the ISRO and the deputy director of the Director General of Security at the Cabinet Secretary of India. Last year we had an array of classes by him for Bhagavad Gita. It was a beautiful moments in a 6 months long program. Here, without delay, I want to invite Dr. T.P. Shashimarji. Floor is for you.
Namaskaram, Dilipji. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat, Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Ajnanati Mirandasya Nananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilidam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Sadashiva Samarambha Shankaracharya Madhyama Asmat Acharya Paryandam Vande Guru Parambara. Namaskaram. Shuchita, Geeta, Elizabeth, Bihari, Nilaya. Namaskaram to all of you. Yesterday I was listening to what was happening on the 5th day of yoga celebrations under this World Yoga Community. That is the time when I heard that topic is Bhagavad Gita, and then I have to speak on that. The importance of yoga life. So, I don't know whether yoga life is different and normal life is different. Yoga life is different if you don't realize what is yoga. And if you realize yoga, what life you have is yoga life. Actually, for a yogi, the life which he leads is a normal life. But that life is what is yoga life for him. But I don't know, the modern yoga practitioners would have thought if you do the physical magic circuses, then only you are a yogi. But I am from a Rama's tradition, Himalayan. We believe that meditation in action. Meditation, because there is no other translation for samadhi. We are unfortunate to use the word meditation. Samadhi in life. Every action which I do, how do I get to do it in the samadhi state? What is samadhi state? If I am put under electroencephalograph now. Electroencephalograph will give you the brain vibrations. You will see Dr. TPS doesn't have any change in my brain vibration now, because I am talking not using my brain. I am talking from my feelings. When you are talking from your feelings, how can you be logically formatted words? How can it be used is a big question. It's very simple. How do a mother make chapati or dosha, or somebody puts a decoration? You have seen somebody stitching the net for the sweater when they travel in the train, they talk to people. You can see a TV program and then you can chat with somebody. Is it senseless or sensible? It's sensible. So how can you perform? While performing, your attitude is set and you are so skillful, it doesn't become a tax on your brain. You don't have to think. It becomes so casual. like an experienced driver driving. He doesn't have to think for driving. He can sing a song and then drive. All that is possible because you are so casual in your actions. Casual doesn't mean you are not very serious. You are serious. You are to the point. You use apt words. A singer doesn't remember the songs. Maybe he don't have to struggle to remember the song. He remembers without struggle. But you need to have a good ambience, and you cannot do it when somebody is disturbing you. So you need a good performance is possible. You have an attitude and you have the skill to perform and you have a good environment. The attitude is internal. The skill is the supportive process. And the environment is the external. You have a nature, you have a behavior, and you have a growth pattern in your life. You have a value, you have a role to play, and you have a goal to achieve in your life. All these are related to your basic Rajasic, Tamasic, Sattvic nature. Why did I put in that order? Because most commonly seen are Rajasic. Maybe the next commonly seen are Tamasic. Rarely what we see is the Sattvic. Otherwise, Sattvic, Rajasic, Tamasic is the way in which they mention. How do somebody become Rajasic, Tamasic, Sattvic? It is based on what Prakriti you have. What is the Prakriti you have? You can have a Vata Prakriti, Pitta Prakriti and Kapha Prakriti as per Ayurvedic formulas. What gives you a Vata, Pitta, Kapha Prakriti? Based on what is the food you intake. And what is that food? Basically, food is made out 5 elements. So what are the 5 elements? Earth, water, air, fire and space. Suppose you are a Vata Prakriti, then you are someone who may have air more. Somebody you may have water and kapha means water will be more, humidity will be more for them. So based on that constituent nature, that sort of a approach or that much of a love for that sort of a food also will be there. And how do we make our Rajasic, Sattvic, Tamasic nature? Based on how our Indriyas capture knowledge from the external world, or how are we going to react to the world with your Indriyas. So that is 5 Indriyas. You can see the relationship. So we have Sattvic, Rajasic, Tamasic. We have Vata, Pitta, Kapha in the Ayurveda. The nature and the Prakriti which you have. The way in which you behave with the nature. And the nature itself is the 5 elements. And you have 5 Indriyas. The eye is related to the earth. Solid. I can see. Ear is related to the liquid. Nose is related to the gas, the smell. Tongue is related to the heat. Fire. Skin is related to the space. So you have relationship with the Indriyas to the elements, and that makes your nature. Why am I saying all this? That is because whatever karma we are supposed to do, they have a desire, and the desire is your behavior pattern and the character which is determined by the elements which I spoke earlier. So the Purushartha, if you wanted to explain the basic base in which the Hindu Dharma, Bharatiya Shastra is built upon Purushartha. We have a desire which is Kama. The value system is determining what I wanted to, what is the Swabhava which I have, Swabhava. What is the nature in which I am there? That is the Dharmic nature. so that I can become happier, self-realized person. And that self-realized person is not after death, not at the verge of death, because of your every activity which you do. You get into a state of moksha in this life every moment. So how do you get into that? There are many methods of doing sacrifices. That is another set of rituals which are called the Agnihotra or Panjamahayatna, etc. etc. So the dharmic value, the value can be made higher and higher based on this. So these are nothing new, because in your life, how do you clean yourself? And what is the purpose of cleaning? Why do you want to clean it? These are what is the basic essence of yoga. The essence of yoga is part of the great salutation to Patanjali by the saints who are followed him, by saying Patanjali is the greatest of the greatest Yogacharya. Yogena chittasya padena vacha. Yogena chittasya. With the yoga, clean your chit. Chit is, nearest translation could be mind, but that is not the translation. Where the feelings, desire, that's why I said the kama. That based on the kama in which you are living. The purushartha starts from the kama. So how do you clean your desire? By yoga. So yogena chittasya padena vacha. How do you communicate? Not just the words, oral communication. All the indriyas, how it reacts to the nature. Padena vacha. Malam sharirasya cha vaidyakena. Using the Ayurvedic technique, clean your body. So who is this Patanjali? Many people call him as the yoga master. The traditional yoga starts with Patanjali. But it is not yoga alone. Yoga is for cleaning the feelings, manas. But unfortunately, people are stuck to the body postures, and doing exercises has become yoga. Patanjali never thought about such a structure. Otherwise, many people would not have done prayer like this. His idea is to clean the manas. How do you make sure that you have a strong body? By the Ayurveda practices. So yoga doesn't stay by itself without Ayurveda. Yoga doesn't stay by itself by cleaning your environment with which you are associated. And how do you react to the environment? Then once you do that, or the stanza continues like this, Yoba Karottam Pravaram Muninam, you are the greatest of the greatest Rishi Patanjalim. Oh Patanjali, what do I do? Pranjali Ranatosmi. I salute you with the Anjali, with all the prostrations, and then I do the salutations to you. I bow in front of you. It's a great knowledge that needs to be spread with the basic understanding of what Patanjali means and how our traditional rishis have transferred this knowledge into the next generation. Otherwise, it becomes only a celebration without even going to the deeper knowledge. So that ability, how do you get it? That you get it with understanding different aspects of yoga. Which is the best textbook where it is mentioned? It is after Patanjali, maybe the practiced Patanjali, or the mythological concept of Yoga Shastra has been dealt by the great text which we have, and that is Ramayana. And that Ramayana, the Vasishtha is the yoga teacher there. Whose yoga teacher? Rama's yoga teacher. The hero of Ramayana is Rama. For Rama, when he was young, he had psychological issues. He was not even respecting his father Dasharatha, who was not a normal casual laborer. He was Dasharatha. He had 10 vehicles. Dasharatha, that means one of the richest king. So he is not respecting his father, Rama. Therefore, he was admitted to the hospital of Vasishtha, and Vasishtha gave 18 days of treatment. And that treatment is nearly, I don't know, maybe around 30,000 verses, the whole first content. Maybe the Lekhu Yoga Vasishtha, what is available to the public is 6,000 verses. The original Yoga Vasishtha is around 29 to 30,000. So that Yoga Vasishtha is the first textbook of yoga, in which it is a psychological process. Purne manasi sampurnam jagat sarvam sudhadravaihi upana gutapadasya nanu charma strutaiva buvuhu. It is all in the mind. It is all in the manas. If you clean your manas, you can see the world the way you want. Is there a better definition to yoga than this? It is not there. It is nothing different from what Patanjali has given. Atah yoga anushasana. Yoga is what is to be self-disciplined, practiced. Self-practiced. You need not follow somebody's path. You need not have a poster in body. Yoga chitta vritti nirodha. Yoga is to stop your unwanted process in your chit, manas. That is what is clearly explained by either Yoga Vasishtha or Patanjali. No difference. But then the Hatha Yoga Pradipika clearly says Sharira Manaso Yoga Paraspara Manuvrajit Adhara Adheya Bhavena Taptajya Khadayoriva. The body and the mind is such related. If you control the mind, the body can be related. And control the body, the mind can also be controlled. So for those people whose feelings are uncontrollable and you cannot get into the yoga path so easily, one of the direct easiest method could be exercises. That's why Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi. In which 8 steps, only one is Asana. Third step, Yama, Niyama, Pranayama is also to control your breathing. And therefore you can control your feelings. Suppose you don't control your breath in the normal style, Pranayamena yuktena sarvayoga samaraha. If you control your breath normally, you will become disease will not be there. Non-diseased. You will be in ease. Ayuktabhyasa yogena. Do it in the wrong style, you can get lot of diseases. Ayuktabhyasa yogena sarvaroga samudbhavaha. You will get all the diseases. So, not many steps are, in the 8 steps only one is asana, exercise. The rest of the thing is what the strong part of yoga, which needs to be learned. How do you learn this? Either through the mythology, where the moral classes are being given, so that you know the yama, non-violence, niyama, discipline. And why the today's topic given is importance of yoga life through Bhagavad Gita path, or importance of Bhagavad Gita in the yoga life. How that Bhagavad Gita got this? There are explanations in the Bhagavad Gita itself. It came from Manu. The Surya gave it to Manu. Ikshvaku. And then that is the order in which I am educated in this. And therefore I am giving you this lecture That is what Krishna, the use of God itself is not a good word. Ishvara. Murti cannot be God. But unfortunately, the translations which we are using, which follows the Bible standards, we have started using the name God, Lord, etc., etc. And if I use it, it is only for the understanding of others, but internally I mean Murti and Ishvara. Deva itself is a different word. So each word has got an inner meaning inside that. So the Ishvara, Bhagavan, Krishna, gave this lecture to his student, his patient, Arjuna. Where did he get that knowledge? I made it clear in my poetry book, which is Arrow from Shadow, The Life of Love poetry book, which can be downloaded. And then the 11th poem says, Arrow from the Shadow. In one Janma, you learn, and in the other, you teach. Yoga Vasishta is the lecture on Dharma and mind management. Rama was awarded 18 days of Treta Yuga by sage Vasishta, and Krishna in Dwapara gave lessons to Arjuna in the war field. So nothing is different from Yoga Vasishta in the Bhagavad Gita. I just wanted to tell you that. And it is not in one Janma to the next Janma. Don't think that one incarnation to another incarnation. Every day, morning I wake up with the call of Brahma, and that Brahma gives me his wife's ability with my tongue to speak to you, the Saraswati which comes. If I have got a creativity in my manas, Saraswati will come to my tongue. If I have educated, my creativity will start functioning. What a yoga union is that. And that union is there in the Sankalpa of Ishvara also in Bharatiya Shastram. And then, what next? When understanding all these in the right sense, what I achieve in my life is to get money, and which gives me an action. I can work peacefully in my life. And what is the ultimate thing? That is Lakshmi, money, action, Vishnu. And the evening I will be able to peacefully go and sleep. And that is Samadhi with Shiva. When I have the energy to sleep. If I lose my energy, I become sick. So Parvati is there beside you. It's a combination. So each day you take birth, and in the next rebirth, that is next day, and again I will go back to the same routine life. The karma you do in one Janma, today what I am doing will reflect on my tomorrow. My tomorrow is my next Janma. An arrow from the shadow comes back to you in full force. If I do something wrong today, tomorrow it reflects on me to hunt you in the next Janma. So I explain the concept of rebirth in a different style in my poetry book. It's not mine. It is what the Bharatiya Sankalpa says. The Ishvara itself is a Sankalpa. And what is the purpose of all this? To give us the energy to live in everyday life. So it is not Arjuna who is in trouble, who is in the war field. Every one of us are Arjuna. Every one of us is in the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita. What is the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita? Vishada. In Dukkham. Not happy. All the troubles are there. I have got all the troubles in my life. And that is my first chapter. And that Vishadam itself is called yoga. You can imagine somebody's sadness is also yoga. That is why Arjuna Vishada Yoga, the first chapter. You can ask a question, how somebody's sadness can be a yoga. That itself is a yoga. You can convert every misery also into a yoga. So don't think that happy people are doing yoga, and yoga once you do, you don't become unhappy. No. You have everyday routine job to be done. If you are in trouble, what is to be done? Keep on practicing. The most beautiful sloka probably in the Bhagavad Gita is when all this lecture is given to Arjuna. Arjuna says, it is impracticable, not at all possible. It is like stopping the wind. That is what Arjuna says. You know what Krishna peacefully says? Abhyasena tu kaunteya. Practice, my son. It will become so easy for you. So every skill need to be practiced multiple times. Then it becomes so simple for you. And Vishadam is turned into a moksha sannyasa yoga. What is moksha sannyasa yoga? Moksha is happiness. Moksha is happiness. And that happiness which comes from the desire. What is the root cause for all the Vishadam? The root cause for all the Vishadam is Kamam, Purushartham. The first step in Purushartham is, oh, I am not happy. The desire comes, you become unhappy. And what is the ultimate aim? To get into moksha. What is moksha? Happiness. So it starts with the Vishadam. Desire causes Vishadam, which was the desire for the Arjunas. And then he wanted to have victory. Otherwise he will not go to the war field. And you are going to the war field with a action. And if you don't logically understand, that is why the second chapter is Sankhya Yoga. Logically analyze, what am I doing in this world? Is it the right thing to be done? Then get educated. Without education, nothing will become great to work in your life. So you have to learn. So when you learn that, what will happen? You get into knowledge. All that first 9 chapters is full of knowledge. And that starts with the Sankhya Yoga, logical analysis, which could be the gist of Bhagavad Gita. So if you want to understand the whole yoga, the importance of Bhagavad Gita in the yogic life, the yoga life or the life itself, how do you get it? Look at Sankhya Yoga, that is good enough. If you look at Bhagavad Gita and ask a question, how many times the word yoga is used in that? You don't have to explain this or give an explanation to that, because every chapter talks about yoga. Starting from Vishada Yoga to Moksha, Sannyasa Yoga. Non-peaceful to peaceful life. Violent mind, manas to the silent manas. So violence to silence is Bhagavad Gita. Many people say that it's a preaching for violence. No. You are internally in violence. You need to be in silence. Externally you can be violent. That doesn't matter. Your BP should not go up. Your heartbeat has to be stable. Sthita Prajna has to be the state in which you are talking or taking the problems in the world. And that will happen only when you have a combination of, what are the combination? And that is what is explained, or maybe every chapter ending by the Bhashyakara, the interpreter. The chapter wise Krishna did not give lecture. But for the people to understand, it has been put into different chapters. So while putting into different chapter, end of every chapter, the Bhagavad Gita is Upanishad, Brahma Vidya. So the essence come from the Veda. So where is the root of yoga? Vedas, knowledge. What is the purpose of yoga? Knowledge. If you cannot explain every bit of life, the reason behind it, logically analyze it, then you are not a yogi. You can be a practitioner who gives practice in the asanas. You cannot be a yogi. Brahma Vidya has to be addressed. Brahma Vidyayam, Yoga Shastre. It is a Yoga Shastra. The Shastra of Yoga, the science of yoga needs to be understood. That is, understand the feeling, psychology. You are a psychology master. You need to be a mentor. Then you understand the problems of your mentees. So here Arjuna is a mentee, Krishna is a mentor. And that is why there has to be a samvada. Discussion should happen. Question should come. Then only the relevance of Bhagavad Gita can be understood. So what is the purpose of this? Prajodayat, enlighten. Take them to the higher level. An inspirational, intellectual, intuitional prajna. The metha has to be higher and higher. How do you take that? based on what the postulate which I made with the three gunas, the Panchabhutas. Everything comes into Bhagavad Gita here and there. The three gunas beautifully explained. And that is what happens to you in your life. Niryogakshema Atmavan. Bhagavad Gita 2nd chapter talks about Niryogakshema Atmavan. What is Niryogakshema Atmavan? Triguna Vishaya Veda Nistraigunyo Bhavarjuna Nirdvando Nitya Sattvastho Nirdvando. Confusion should not be there. You have to be concretized in your thoughts without confusion. Yavanartha Udapane Sarvatra Sampludotake Tavan Sarveshu Vedeshu Brahmanasya Vijanata. You have to have that ability of a Brahmin. What is that Brahmin? Understand that knowledge which gives you that feeling of the higher self. That is what is essential to become the higher and higher in the world. Yogastha Kuru Karmani Sangam Tuktva Dhananjaya. Sangam Tuktva Dhananjaya. I think it is the 48th sloka. 2nd chapter. Yeah, 48th sloka in the 2nd chapter. So what does it say? Yogastha Kuru Karmani Sangam Tuktva Dhananjaya. Don't get binded with your people. That is what the problem is. First chapter, if you look at it, he has got lot of problems. Arjuna, what is the problem? He is bounded. Sangam. Sangam Tuktva Dhananjaya. Get out of that boundedness. Then you will become peaceful in your life. Siddhya Asiddhyo Samo Bhutva. Whether you have that ability or not. Siddhya Asiddho. Whether you are having that siddhi or asiddhi. Samo Bhutva. Look at everybody equal. Samatvam Yoga Uchyate. So what is yoga? Treating everybody equal. That ability is what is yoga. You have to consider everyone in this world, every living being in this. That's why I said we have got all the daily practice of acharas. Even when you do puja for the Bhagavan, Ishvara, the first puja is done to the Bhutas. Every living being who are living in that field. Before you constructed the temple, who were the ownership for that land? That may be small flies, that may be small worms, that may be small creatures who lived there. When you vacated them to make the place for you, you do puja to them. What a great... And there are temples in which before you feed the Ishvara, Bhagavan, you feed the Buddha. That's why he called Sri Buddha Bali. What a great concept is that. These are all part of yoga. So any activity which you do in a temple is also a yoga. And who is a yogi there? The priest is supposed to be a yogi. Whether he has that quality or not, that depends on whether he is a real priest or not. Suppose he is a real priest, what will happen to him? He will have Saptashuddhi. Pranavana, Vyanodhana Samana, Me Shuddhyandam, Jodiraham Viraja Vipatma Bhuya Sangaswaha, Vakmana Chakshusrotra Grana Jikwareto, Buddhya Gri Sangalpa Me Shuddhyandam. His Sangalpa will be clean. You can imagine. The breath will be clean. His Indriyas will be clean. His prana, the air which you take inside and breathe out, will be equally clean. No oxygen content more and carbon dioxide more when he breathes in and breathes out. It has to be equally clean. And that is what then what will happen to you, such a person? Yoga karma sukaushalam. Yoga karma sukaushalam. What is the ultimate aim of all this? My day-to-day activity need to be very, very, very smart. Not just smart, because the value system also comes. Today's education make your children smart, not enough. They have to be good also. So what is the purpose of education? Good and smart. Buddhi yukto jahadita. Buddhi yukto jahadita. Ubhe, which is that... 50th sloka. Buddhi yukto jahadiha. Ubhe sukrita dushkrite. Tasmat yogaya ujjasya Therefore, as per yoga prescription, you get up. Yoga, karma sukaushalam. What is the purpose of yoga? To make you active with all the kushalata. What is kushalata? Smartness. So you want to be a smart person who does every action with all the ability. Yoga is the practice. Is it not a part of everyday life activity? It is. But I don't know whether people understood Bhagavad Gita in this style. I don't know whether people understood yoga in this style. But I am so happy Dilip ji has mentioned this topic and then given to me, which is allowing me to think in this style. And that's a great opportunity. Sruti vipradipannate tada sthasyati nischala samadha vachala buddhi stada yogava vapsyasi. 53. Sruti vipradipannate yatha sthasyasi nischala samadha vachala buddhi. What is that buddhi which you require? You need to be intelligent. Look at things so logically. Yogava vapsyasi. Then what will happen? You get into yoga. It is not you practice yoga. You become a yogi by making your buddhi very active. You have to be intelligent. Not every person on the street can practice yoga. That's a different matter. But the real yoga in Bhagavad Gita, as prescribed by Patanjali, as described by Vyasa, as described by the Vasishta, as Krishna taught Arjuna, that need intelligent people. Not everybody can do it. You have to understand. And if it is not what is to be done, abhyasena tu kaunteya, practice it, then it becomes easy for you. You need to spend the time, understand. Then what will happen? As in the 67th sloka, I think. In the second chapter, 67th sloka, it talks about, I am just skipping and then going sloka by sloka. Indriyanam hicharatam. The 5 sensory organs, I said, it is coming here. Indriyanam hicharatam yen manonu vidhiyate tadasya haradi pratnam vayurnava vivambasi. Like a wind takes the boat in the water. The wind will take the boat in the water and crossing the river. Your indriya will flow along with the beautiful life and it just flows without restrictions. And it will take the right path. Yen manonu vidhiyate, as controlled by my mana, my manas. Not it goes here and there. So it is not controlling the manas. The manas controlling the indriya. No, it flows. Tadasya haradi pratnam. Beautifully. The pratna. The pratna will happen in such a fashion. The indriyas and the indriyas, all the sensory organs and the manas, your feelings will get entangled and you get into that intellect which is already explained. Everything will join together and submit to the Atma which is inside you. And such people will become spiritual people and Atmiya Purushas. No confusions. And that ability comes only when you are the Jnana Karma Sannyasa Yoga. What a beautiful Jnana Karma Sannyasa Yoga. Your action becomes with knowledge and without boundedness. If you have boundedness, problems will come. No escape. I don't want, let me go. Without this also I can live in this world. Then problems are not there. When you get attached to the materialistic, non-materialistic relationship, you get entangled, and that is what the reason for all the problems. That's what Bhagavad Gita says. You have to be free. What is the best thing in the world? Freedom. Don't think no war in the world is fought for materialistic things, not for anything else. Only one reason, that is freedom. And here in the 4th chapter, Jnana Karma Sannyasa Yoga, Imam Vivasvate Yogam Proktavan, Imam Vivasvate Yogam
4th chapter, first sloka. Imam vivaswate yogam praktavanava avyayam vivaswan manave praha manurutshvaga ve bravit. This is the tradition of the Yoga Shastra which I am teaching. That is what Krishna says. Krishna Ishvara doesn't take the credit. This is my knowledge. He says the antiquity of yoga comes from Krishna, Surya, Manu, Ikshvaku, and that is the tradition which Brahma gave it to Marichi, and Marichi gave it to Kashyapa, Kashyapa gave it to Surya, Surya gave it to Manu. That's how it came to Ishvara. But then who was the origin for that? Vishnu. So I only gave this and then came back, and then after a long time what happened? It lost its priority. People forgot. That is why I am teaching you now. Hey Arjuna, not for you, for the generations to come. Evam parampara praktam imam rajashayo vidu sakalaneha mahata yogo nashtaparandava. By practice, by not practicing also it is lost. Therefore we lost it. That is why I am able to, I wanted to teach you now. That's what Krishna says. Sa evayam maya vyadya yoga prokta puratana bhaktosi me sakha cheti rahasyam heta uttamam. You learn this and then practice. It will become great for you. Rahasyam. It's a very, very secret knowledge. Not to be taught to everyone in the world. Those who are really required, they come and then only teach them. That is what is essentially required. So this goes, the explanation goes. And 5th chapter, Karma Yoga. Karma Sannyasa Yoga. The Karma Yoga is not Karma Yoga in Bhagavad Gita. Karma Sannyasa Yoga. Do action without any expectation of my selfish result. Don't say no result. Every action has a result. But I am not selfish for my purpose. I don't. I am not doing it for my purpose. It is for somebody else. Lokanam upakaraya. For some people in this world, let them use the benefit of whatever action I am doing. And that action is what is called karma. Not everyday activity which I do to survive my life is not karma. Such sannyasam karmanam Krishna punar yogam chas shamsasi. Then you will get that yoga style. Yet sreya etayorokam. Then you will raise, that will give you benefit of sreya. That will give you the benefit of sreya. You will become popular, famous. Not when you do things for your purpose. Tanme bruhi sunishchayam. You can think about this and decide whether it is useful for you. And that sreya, what gives is what I want. That knowledge for this is what I want. That's what Arjuna asks. What a great Shishya Arjuna became when 4 chapters were given. He is looking for that prescription to him so that he can do something good for the world. Sannyasa karma yogascha nisreya sakara ubhau tayostu karma sannyasat karma yogo vishishyate. What is called karma yoga is explained here, which gives benefit for others, which gives you a general ability to help others, and then only it can. And who has to? You cannot do it when you are not a pandita. You have to be a pandita for that. Sankhya yoga pratak bala pravadandina pandidaha ekavapsyastya samyak ubayor vindade phalam. You have to be a pandita to get into that ability. What a great knowledge. You have to have that knowledge so that you can get into higher and higher life. So it is knowledge giving. That is what important here. Knowledge is important. 6th chapter also remains or continues with the same message. Dhyana Yogam. The 6th chapter Dhyana Yogam also says, Anasrida karma bhalam karyam karma karodiya sa sannyasi ja yogi cha na niragnir Na Chakriya. It goes into circle, circle, circle. Chakriya. How do you want to get rid of this circle of sannyasam, yoga? Then the karyam will become close to you. That is what is important. Then whatever you do becomes a real karma which will help the generic people in this world get into that sort of an activity. Then what will happen? Yogi bhavati kanjana. You will become a yogi. The method of becoming a yogi is what is explained. Arjuna is not just accepting all that. Arjuna has a lot of questions. If I fail, if I break, and if I lose my concentration, what is going to happen? All such questions are asked. After Dhyana Yoga, explained by the 6th chapter up to 22nd sloka, I think. Yeah. 22nd sloka, 23rd sloka. It is being explained. After that, Arjuna is not very comfortable. What makes a yogi, the characteristics is explained in the rest of the slokas. And if you look at it, you can see practically being in this world, how to do your activity in everyday life is what is being explained there. Samadarshanaha. Sarvatra Samadarshanaha. You have to be looking at the world, living with this world, a true yogi, with their consciousness submitted to Bhagavan, Ishvara. Then you realize the other person is also part of this Ishvara. The living being around you is also part of you. Then your restless mind doesn't disturb you further. That is what it is. So if you can do that, and unsuccessful yogi, what will happen? Yogis too can become unsuccessful. Not enough. Don't leave it in the middle. Keep on continuing. That is what Bhagavan says. The 6th chapter ends with 47th sloka. Yeah, 47th sloka. Yoganam abhi sarvesham madgadena andaratmana shraddhavan bhajate yomam same yuktatamo mataha. Same yuktatamo mataha. Intimately unite with me. With me, that is what Bhagavan. Same yuktatamo mataha. Come and then join with me. With me means with Bhagavan. With me means the soul. So your manas, emotional, troubling, turbulent feelings which troubles you, with the logical buddhi, put them together, join in the soul, then you are the most successful person in the world. That's what the 6th chapter ends with. Then again 7th chapter continues. Jnana Vijnana Yogam. Practical knowledge and the theoretical knowledge. How does it implies and what method is to be used to be understand what can be done, what cannot be done. How do you distinguish them? All that is being explained. Then 8th chapter, what does it say? The 8th chapter talks about Akshara Brahma Yoga, which is Aksharam, without Ksharam. Ksharam is end, which cannot be destroyed. And such non-destroyable Brahma Yogam. You be a creative person. Even if you lose something, you are creative, you can recreate it again. So don't worry about the money lost in this world. You can again create money because you are the person. You are the person, that ability is strongly inside, your attitude is strong and your skill is good, and you don't worry about the environment, your performance will become always successful. That's what Bhagavan says. Andakale chamame vasmaren muktva kalevaram yaprayasi samam bhavam yadi nastasya samshayaha. Andakalecha, the last moment also, you come to me. Losing everything, don't lose your heart, attitude. Come to me. I am there with you. I will make you happy. Only when 9th chapter, 22nd sloka. Ananyaschintayanto mam ye jana paryupasate tesham rajavidya rajaguhya yogam. 22nd slokas. I think 22nd, yeah. 9th chapter, 22nd sloka. Ananyaschintayanto mam ye jana paryupasate tesham nityabhiyuktanam yogatshemam mahamyaham. What is that you want? You want to grab knowledge. You want to gain knowledge. You want to gain money. You want to gain fame. You want to be happy. Yogatshemam. That is what is yogatshemam. In life, Every one of us want all this. What is our worry? Whatever wealth I got, it should not be lost. Whatever knowledge I have should not be lost. Whatever energy which I have should not be lost. Whatever fame I have should not be lost. Whatever happiness I have need to be retained. Bhagavan says, I will guarantee you all this. When Anandis Chintayan Tomam, full attention, concentration, you be with me. Surrender to me. What is that me? Action. Action with the devotion. Without having bindedness. Confirm with the firm belief in me. Start doing actions. Ye jana pariupasate tesham nityabhiyuktanam yogatshemam mahamyam. I will take care of such people and I will support you throughout in your life. That is what Bhagavan says. I can go on and on, but I think that's not my intention. I thought I'll speak less than half an hour so that maybe rest of the time can be on talk. Generally, that is what I do for 1 hour. Now today we have more time, so I thought I'll speak up to 45 to 50 minutes. I think it's done. 50 minutes is over. Maybe up to 9th chapter. That's what I thought I will describe a little bit. And then I'll open up for questions. That's what I'm supposed to do. Good enough, Dilipji?
Yeah, that's good. See, questions coming.
Yeah.
Who is asking the question? Sujita want to ask the question.
I would request, may I?
Yeah, Gita, welcome.
Yeah. I would request you to repeat what you spoke about the 47th shloka of the 6th chapter.
6th
You
chapter.
said characteristics of a yogi.
Yeah.
How do you become a successful yogi?
47th sloka of.
6th chapter.
Yeah, that is the last sloka.
You said one has to practice rightly to avoid failing. And there are certain characteristics of a truly successful yogi.
Yeah, that is what is being explained in the. All the characteristic what is required for a yogi is explained.
And so if you could just highlight a few characteristics that can be imbibed and practiced.
Actually, the shortest of the shortest could be what is the Ashtanga Yoga, but in Bhagavad Gita it is more like a theoretical part. The Atma Samyamana Yoga ends with the Jnana Vijnana Yoga, and in Jnana Vijnana Yoga you will see what are all the different 23 steps are there, and then the next will come with all the Swabhavas, the Prakriti, the Triguna. When it is explained again, that will come part of it, how to control your Triguna. That is what briefly I explained in the beginning, saying that the Panchabhuta controlling, so that your input inside your manas. Where does it come in Bhagavad Gita? 15th chapter. If I want to complete it, I will have to go to 15th chapter to say what food you have to eat. So what I did was, beginning the 15th chapter, all that food prescriptions I made it into one method called Vata Pitta Kapha gives you what is the food what you have to take. Got it?
No, so if I have to be a typical yogi, I need to know how to manage the Panchabhutas.
Yeah. You need to know.
Sync with the Bhutas.
Sync with the Bhutas and create such a food. See, for example, what is that food what you have to take is also explained. Kattvam Lavanatyushna, 15th chapter. If you look at it, it will explain you what food is to be taken. So you cannot be a yogi with having a different food which is not acceptable to you. Your definitely food determines your character. The basic microbiotics and macrobiotics of today's.
Yeah, because it somewhere influences the gunas.
Yeah. So the 15th chapter tells you what food is to be taken. So it goes in different chapters in the next subsequent chapters.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Sujita.
Sir, Guruji.
Pranam Acharya ji.
Namaste.
Nice to listen to you always. Acharya ji, when you say it should be karma sannyas yoga,
Yeah.
and you should be detached from the result, or you should be detached with the person you are doing action or something. You try to explain. I want to just understand more how much you should be detached. When sometimes attachment motivates you to do certain actions, then karma is provoked by attachment. How if we detach ourselves so much, then aren't we akarmanya? I just wanted this kind of a discussion from you.
Shuchita, you can clearly understand when I am using words, I never use the word attached, detached. If I am not attached to Dilip ji, I will not come for this class at all. I am attached to him. But if he doesn't call me, I will not become gloomy, anger, distrust and all that will not become. So it is not having attachment is not the word. I am not binded to him. I will still do my job which I am supposed to do. I am not assume that Shuchita is in contact with me. I am happy because I am attached to you. Okay. If you don't talk to me, yeah, I am detached with you. But I am not binded to you. If you don't talk to me, oh, what happened? Why she is not talking to me? And then I will keep distrust. Binding is different from attachment. Yoga is bonding. You have to have bondage only with the Bhagavan. Who is that Bhagavan? Your Atma. What is your Atma internally? Go inside you. That is what it says. You want to be happy. Externally you cannot search happiness at all. You have to be internalized by yourself. Then, yeah.
And then and second, one more question.
Yeah.
When you talk about shadow, arrow from the shadow, you talk about our janmas or whatever we carry on from the previous life.
Yeah. The previous life is, I am talking to you today. Assume that I got angry, I had a dashing with you. Tomorrow when I meet you, definitely some remembrance will come to me. Yesterday is my earlier Janma and today is my next Janma. That is why we keep saying we have 7 Janmas. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. 7 Janmas. After 7 Janma, again Monday will come. That's it. Very simple. How do you get rid of this Papa? You should not have any other thoughts other than this only. Then that will keep troubling me. But assume today we have a different topic to discuss. Then what will happen? We get engaged with that and then we may agree on that. So whatever conflict we had earlier is forgotten. So what is the method? Do your activity more and more so that you are filled with actions. That is what we have a common master for me and Dilip ji. Nitya Chaitanya Yati. Yati always says, God will extend my life as long as He wants, not me. As long as He wants. How He will extend my life as long as He wants? Take a lot of activity which is filling me. Take a lot of activity which is filling me so that God will think this fellow, let him live for longer time to serve the society. Good enough.
Yes.
Understood? Yeah. Nimisham jalitam sreyam nadu dhumayitum chiram. Every moment be like a fire. Fill it. Yeah. Yeah, there is one question by Arti Verma which is asked, what is the basic philosophy difference between Bhagavad Gita, Yoga and Patanjali? No difference. Both are same. Here also it is, that is what in the beginning I explained. Probably Arati lost my first few 10 minutes. The first 10 minutes what I was talking about was the Patanjali's Yoga Shastra, not only Bhagavad Gita. I also mentioned Vasishta, Yoga Vasishta, which is also Yoga Shastra. Who is the master of yoga in philosophy? terms, it is Vasishta, Yoga Vasishta, the biggest book of yoga, the medical textbook of yoga, the psychiatry textbook, the handbook for the psychotherapist in the world is Ramayana's Yoga Vasishta. That also I referred. And in that, exactly what is explained is what is in Bhagavad Gita. What is in Bhagavad Gita, what is in Ramayana, Yoga Vasishta is what is exactly there in the Patanjali's Yoga Sutras. But that Yoga Sutra is to be understood not as only the 8 steps and one of the step is only being taken and then you think that is yoga, then totally wrong. You did not understood even one of millions of 1 by million. That portion also yoga is not understood by most of the people who speaks about yoga. That is the pathetic state of world today. You learn only 0.0, the micro knowledge and blow it up and say same. No? If DrTPS speaks something of Bhagavad Gita last year and this year when I speak I should have something else to add. Otherwise I am not learning. If I am not learning I am unfit to teach. So nothing wrong. Yeah, you have not understood, nothing wrong. Learn. Yoga Vasishta. I refer Yoga Vasishta and I summarized Yoga Vasishta also. Purne manasi sampurnam jagat sarvam sudhadravaihi upana gudapadasya nanu charmastrudaiva buvuhu. Is it not controlling the manas, controlling the buddhi, understanding the sthita prajna without bindedness? I am not worried about how others look at me. I am ready to make my path with the smoothest way with all smiles around. Let somebody doesn't give me happiness, doesn't matter. I am happy. Then nobody can make me unhappy in this world. I am in ease. How can somebody make me diseased? Nobody can make me diseased if I decide to be in ease. Right? Ease and disease is a feeling. Ease and disease is a feeling. The feeling is inside you. So nothing external matters to you. Is it not what Bhagavad Gita says? Nothing matters to you. Shariram doesn't matter. Uddhared atmanatmanam. One of the most important sloka I forgot. Uddhared atmanatmanam. Raise your atma, manas, to the highest level. Which level? Uddhared atmanatmanam. Atmanam avasadhayet. Atmaiva hyatmano bandhu. Atmaiva ripuratmanaha. Which sloka is that? 6th chapter, 5th sloka. Uddhared atmanatmanam. Atmanam avasadhayet atmaiva hyatmano bandhu. Atmaiva ripuratmanaha. Raise your buddhi and the manas in such a level where your atma is what is controlling you. That is controlling your manas. Is it not yama? Niyama? Yes. And you are not able to do it? Pranayama. Is it not Ashtanga Yoga? Is it not Patanjali's yoga? But unfortunately, Patanjali did not ask anybody to Shirshasana. Stand on your head was not Patanjali's. And Patanjali never asked anybody to do Surya Namaskara. Yoga Sutra doesn't have all this. These are all additions. These are all additions. But that is the way it is to be marketed. But then, at least some people must be ready to learn the essence and then say, this is what is actual Bharatiya Shastra. That is the purpose of celebrations. So that some people are interested. So I am so happy that this part is made into one session full for me. Namaskar. Dilip ji, thank you. That did not happen last year. But this year I am so happy that the learning part is also put into this. Thank you.
Any other question? Gabriel.
Namaskar.
Namaskaram.
So, was Hanuman himself sitting above, or was that just a flag?
Yeah, Hanuman heard all this in the Bhagavad Gita. Because Hanuman is one of the Chiranjeevi. Chiranjeevi means who doesn't have death. So you can see Hanuman in the Ramayana, Treta Yuga, and in the next Yuga, Dwapara Yuga also. There are many such characters in the whole Purana Itihasas. The Purana Itihasas are the epics which are in Bharatiya Shastra. And one is Hanuman. Second one is Vyasa. And third one is Kripacharya. Fourth one is Vibhishana. Fifth one is Ashwatthama. There are so many. And one of them is Hanuman. Parashurama is also like that. Parashurama you can see appearing in many places. So Hanuman was there. Hanuman is the man of wind. The Bhagavan, Ishvara, God. Bad translation by me again. God of wind. That is why on the flag the wind will be there. So he represents the wind. He gives you the direction. Like our, we have got that every army vehicle will have a wind on the top of it to find out which direction the wind comes. So that your even the missile which you are sending can be directed normally. Assume that there is a big wind and your arrow goes in one direction, it will go somewhere else. So who is giving this information to Arjuna? Hanuman. What a great knowledge, you know. It says, I know the power of wind. That is what it means. Symbolically, that is what it means. Yeah. Good question, Gabriel. I never interpreted like this. Giving me chance for making me to think like this. And the biggest wonder is, Hanuman is not from the today's India. Okay, though it is part of India, it is in the Andaman Nicobar Islands. And Kripacharya is from Iran. Vibhishana is from Sri Lanka. And different parts of the world is connected in the epics. So don't think that these incidents happened in a small place. It happened international. So we have a geographical distribution of all this area. Then only you can visualize the magnanimity of the whole activity.
I have one more question.
Yeah.
It's not important. This is a trivial detail, a mundane aspect.
Yeah.
But is there a reason why more research isn't being done into discovering certain information as far as the, like I said, this is the trivial aspect, so it's not very important. But the age of these to verify the artifacts and some of the things which may be under the water in current day.
Yeah, that is basically because all the today's dating of the timings of all these activities as per the English Britishers historians perspective, which is not at all tallying with the descriptions given in the poems of our epics, right? So we are entitled to do some research to find out and say that what the historians prescribed is not correct, because Veda cannot be 5,000 years old, because Vedas are being part of the earlier Yuga, which is much more millions of years old, you know. Correct. So 4 lakh, even everyday ritual which is being chanted by every priest in the temple talks about the time scale of all these activities. So it cannot be today's, it cannot be 5,000 years. It has to be more than lakhs and lakhs of years. But what has happened when historians have to explain things in tandem with what happened in the West? They will have to put a time scale and say this is the time scale. And that is being spread all over the world and everybody studied. The so-called academicians are all filled with these knowledge. If you don't write that in your examination, you will fail in history classes. Understood? So it has become an academic compulsion on people, and therefore what has happened, most of the people became disbelievers of the mythological facts. I call it as mythological facts. Got it? Therefore you can see not only the mythology, but the poetical explanations given by great poets of India, like Kalidasa, who has explained what is Kailash. Okay, in his textbook where a Yaksha is going to see Shiva is being explained. He is a poet who lived in this world. His poetries are printed and then learned. And in which book he explains what was the knowledge the predecessors had. So he was explaining. My predecessors has this knowledge. So he is not quoting the history because Britishers never made history by that time. Got it? Therefore, the datings are not correct at all. It is totally wrong. Therefore, what is being done is we have to take literature, we have to take mythology, we have to understand the geography and geophysical movements of the world. Then we will understand once upon a time Lanka and India was very close. Sri Lanka and India was very close. Otherwise, Hanuman cannot jump. He cannot make a bridge. So when during that time how much distance it was close. So you rebuild or reconstruct the geophysical movement. So we have to go very, very far. That goes into 200 million years. And when you explain that, then you will understand whatever being chanted every day. The Mahasankalpa which we have, Saptamadamannundari Ekaligale Prathamapade, which talks about what point of time 17 Mannuntaras are over, 192 crores of years have been passed in this world. All these are great knowledge which are part of the literature being chanted every day by every priest in this country where they did not have a printed textbook to follow, which was all from the ear to the mouth to the ear to the mouth. Hearsay, hearsay, hearsay. Can you imagine? That is being chanted from maybe 3000 kilometers to the north to south, east to west. One man, Shankaracharya, recreated that system of chanting. So don't you think it worth studying? That's it. That's it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Any other questions, comments? Roma Vani. Okay. Yes, proceed.
Namaskar.
Namaskar.
Very grateful to have been invited to this evening's discourse.
Where are you, Romavani? Your face is not seen. You are in the
Okay.
other part of the world where there is no sunlight, no electricity or what?
I'll just check if the video works.
Yeah.
Okay, yes.
Yeah.
Nice.
So now I'm very grateful to have been invited for this evening's discourse, Dr. Saab, and nice to be seeing Guruji also there. What would you say is the easiest yoga for the world today?
Very, very simple. I am a meditation master from Himalayan tradition. Swami Rama is my guru. But I will still tell the best meditation is going and sleeping on your mother's lap. You know, when people become upset, young child will go and sleep on their mother lap, facing the head on their lap. They don't look at the mother's face. Look at the down, and then your breathing can be felt. Your belly will go up and down. Whenever a teenager feels upset about their parents, how do they go to the bed? Upside down, keeping the hand like this, and then they will do like this, right? What will happen? The belly goes up and down. Your violent mind will become silent like that. DrTPS meditation. Just follow that. I have a small YouTube of 20 minutes meditation. I called it meditation knowingly it is not meditation, because that's the only method to make people to remember. That's only breathing practice. So what is the best practice in the world for yoga? Silent concentration on your breath. When you breathe lying the tummy touching the bed or the ground, your tummy will go up and down. Just feel it. And then take the air throughout your body. And then ask that prana, that's called prana. Prana is energy. Ask your prana to go to your leg if you have leg pain. Ask that prana to go to every tip of your body. Let it go to the ear tips, nostrils. Air goes to you. It goes by default. But knowing it is your feeling. When you drink chilled water in the summer, you know the water is going. And that is the feeling of happiness. Similarly, the air goes inside, you get a feeling. The other day I went to one of the ashrams here, where pregnant women were given yoga exercise. I called that instructor during the tea time. Publicly I cannot scold her. And that lady instructor I called and said, what a stupid thing you are teaching. Actually it will trouble that lady because you are asking them to sit on the floor with the legs posture in the specific style in which you learned it from yoga. No. Ask them to put their seat little higher. Give them a yoga brick so that you can sit on top. Your leg will become, your backbone will become automatically straight. Otherwise, I have immediately on that day evening, I put a how to sit on yoga posture. I put a small 5 minutes video. Look at DrTPS yoga sitting. That video you will get. Understood? So how to sit, how to sleep. If you know these two things, for last 32 years, DrTPS is 60 kilogram. If somebody weigh me on a weighing machine and if it is 61 or 59, I will ask, change the weighing machine, get a better one. That is wrong. I am perfect.
And vis-a-vis the Gita,
Yeah.
because we're discussing the various yogas there, what would you say is good for a human being of this era to practice? Is it karma yoga, bhakti yoga, jnana yoga? What should one go for?
Actually, there is no difference. All these are one and the same. Bhakti is devotion. Don't you think when DrTPS is talking in this seminar, is it only Jnana Yoga which I am doing? Am I not committed, devoted, totally involved? Am I not talking with the passion and the bhakti? When Roma is asking a question, am I not seeing that? No, I want to see you. Without seeing also I can give answer, right? Correct or not? That is my passion. So I am doing anything with the passion, I will enjoy. If I am cooking, I cook, you can see DrTPS cooking. You can see in passion I am cooking. You can see DrTPS driving. When I drive, I passionate in driving. I enjoy driving. Oh, what a trouble is this. I cannot drive. I am doing a karma. Driving is my karma. But should I not enjoy? Where are you from, Roma?
From India, Kashmir.
But presently you are in Kashmir?
Yes.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful. If I get a chance, I love to drive on the Kashmir valleys. Do I think that no, I will complain about the season is not good, road is not good, politics is not good and then trouble my mind, or I enjoy that moment? So what Bhagavad Gita says is, now you have come to the war field for what? To fight. Don't think about my past. Is it not, Arjuna? Don't you know that you are going to fight with your cousins previous night? Do they become your relatives just now, or yesterday also they were your relatives? You could have not attended to the examination or interview. Why are you coming to the exam hall and says that no, what is this trouble of examination? You must enjoy exam. So every day when I am writing examination, I am enjoying. Right? When I am doing my job, I must enjoy. If I don't enjoy, na karma. Oh, what a trouble. Why do you do this? Did somebody push you inside? Nobody pushed you. You came voluntarily, right? Now attending this Gita or this yoga program, you must enjoy this. Otherwise you all have this liberty to quit. But once you are here, I am enjoying. You should also enjoy, that's it. That's our karma. It is there every day. So, your bhakti is there. Your karma will become only knowledgeable. Otherwise, it's only like, oh, I am attending, that's it. But no knowledge goes into, then you will see, oh, that lecture was boring. Why is it boring? Because you did not use that jnana. You have to make it as your part, right? Okay, assume you don't understand. Somebody don't understand what is manas. Gabriel may not understand what is manas. Because it's not an English word. So what you should do? You should go and Google and find out. Or get back to me. See, that is what the persuasion you should have. That attitude setting is what is required. If that attitude setting is not there, then you will find, oh, I did not understand half of it. If you did not understand, you have to do abhyasena tu kaunteya. That's what I keep saying. Every activity which you do can be related to what? 3 times I taught. Only 3 times I taught. But I read maybe 1,000 times. Right? Did it finish? No. Every time I reinvented, do something new. That is what is learning. So learning is there, action karma is there, and also my passion is there. That is what the 3. And for what? My Raja Yoga, my administrative ability, my contemplation, my connection. Everybody in this world require only 3 things. Fame, dhanam, artham. Artham doesn't mean money. My influence on somebody else is also my artham for me. I have gone 100 times to Gulf. Not even single time I paid my ticket by myself. Somebody took me. Right? That is my artham. Then next one is knowledge. So if 3 things can be balanced, then what you get is happiness. So these are all part of our life. That's how we should run.
So similarly, the yogas also at different periods or with different emotions, the jnana and the karma and the bhakti should all come together.
Yes, at every level. And in which role, which goal, which value system I have will determine the balancing ability. That is also essential.
Thank you.
Shraddha Roy.
Pranam. I wanted to ask you one thing. You said about meditation that it is counting or it is knowing your breath, right?
No, I did not say that. That is the simplest of the pranayama technique which can take you very close to samadhi. You can enjoy.
So when I tried meditation, I tried and it is like every other thought processes are coming. Other than my concentrating on my breathing or whatever it is. So I feel that I can't do meditation.
I'll tell you, Shweta, I'll tell you 99.99% of the so-called bogus meditators, great masters also will not be able to meditate. It's all bogus.
So I feel
they teach meditation, but they themselves will think about. That's how, see, what they will do is they will tell you meditate and they will look at one way where everybody is closing their eyes. Actually, you don't have to. Meditation is a slow process in which, how do I explain, Sweta, what is the taste of water when you are feeling thirsty? You can only understand the taste of water, right? So I tried meditation, I am doing meditation, I practiced meditation for half an hour. These are all stupid and waste of life. Don't do that. You have to get into dhyana. Dharana. Dharana is what? Concentration. So when I am asking you to concentrate on the breath, air passing your body, automatically your other thoughts will go. Understood? That is closed meditation. That's what I said. I don't tell that is meditation. But if you are enjoying that, you are blessed. But you are not enjoying that, and you are thinking about tomorrow what class I have to take, whether I will miss the bus tomorrow, whether I have to scold my husband, scold my children, scold my kid, and then what will happen? All that traffic jam is with you. Then as Vivekananda says, nobody can meditate on crossroads. Vivekananda also said, you want to learn meditation? The easiest method is take you down to the water and then close your nose and then close your ears and then put you in water. To ask what are you thinking during that time. Will you think about troubles of the world? Will you think about the children? Will you think about practical life? Nothing. No pain will be there. What you will think is, I want one breath.
breath.
And during that time, you are put up, then you will enjoy that breath. And that if you can enjoy, that is meditation.
I'll try.
Understood?
Thank
That concentration in your breathing. That's why I said DrTPS meditation. I have put my guru's pictures there. That for once you see, but listen to that, which I did maybe 2005. I did it in Delhi in a group.
I will try.
That is what, not trying, do it.
Do it.
There is no try in the world. Doing only is there.
No, I will do it. I
Yeah,
will
that's it.
Any other question or comment?
Lots of question in the mind. Gita.
Mind.
I think Gita is.
Namaste Guruji and Namaste.
Gita has to come with all the questions and then have a long discussion with. We can have any time. One Google Meet is good enough.
Okay. Okay, today I am asking a question.
Yeah.
When a person
Yeah.
sit for 1 hour without thinking anything,
Not possible.
And only-
Then you are not a human being. You are in coma. your brain is dead.
no, I am asking.
No. Then you are wasting your time. Never do that.
Then only thinking about the Swarup of his favorite deity.
There is nothing.
What is that?
That itself, that means you are thinking about it.
I am thinking about Lord Ram,
Yeah.
for example.
Ah.
What is that called?
Yeah, that is
called
called.
meditation or what?
That is not called meditation. That is called dharana.
That is dharana.
Dharana and then
What is
dhyanam.
meditation?
You will reach very close to dhyanam.
Okay.
And after some time, that also will go and your mind will become totally blank. And that state is called meditation. But that you cannot tell somebody else, I went into meditation. Then you will not even remember what has happened to you. I had such meditative classes. From my first visit meeting my Guru, Himalayan Master Swami Vedabharati, I got a lecture of 40 minutes, but it just went like 1 minute. I never knew that he spoke something. I don't even remember what he spoke. But probably what he spoke and taught me is what I am telling today. Only I can say probably. You may not even remember anything. Okay, so your concentration is not there. When you concentrate Rama, it is Rama in front of you. So meditation will not make your brain to think and work. So you don't remember anything. That state is a blissful state. It's almost like a death. That is why it is called samadhi. Then how can you say that I went into samadhi for 10 minutes? I will just meditate 10 minutes and come. That means he is a bogus fellow. And you cannot have, I will give you 1 lakh rupees, teach me meditation. No, you give me 1 lakh rupees, can you give me a taste of water? I cannot give the taste of water to you, right? It is your taste. How can I give the taste of water by paying money? So all these are not correct. It's a feeling, it's an enjoyment inside you. It's blissfulness. What you get when you think about your mother, happiness, that anybody cannot think about your mother. You can only think. So it's your personal.
But when I think of Lord Ram, I also get happiness.
Yeah, that is fine. But I don't know whether some BJP fellow thinks about Lord Ram, what he will think. He will think about Andolan. He will think about the brickwork there. He may think about earlier riot which has happened. A judge thinking about Lord Ram will be thinking about the verdict which has happened. Another Muslim fellow, when he think about Ram, he will be thinking about jumping on top of the tomb and then smashing it. So everybody cannot. That's what I'm saying. For you, it is like you. For my mother, it's my mother. Your mother is your mother. Right? And Rama's picture, what Rama's picture you are seeing is not Rama's picture what I'm seeing. Understood? I gave a lecture in Fiji on a Ramayana conference. Do you know that there is a Mapala Ramayana? Mapala is Muslim. In Kerala, there is a Ramayana called Mapala Ramayana. The Muslims have got a Rama. But they don't pronounce Ra, they pronounce Lama. MNC boss ji, Dilip ji is on phone. That's why I'm asking MNC boss.
Hello.
Have you heard about Mapla Ramayanam?
No, sir.
Yeah, you Google Mapla Ramayanam and hear that. That's only in Kerala, Malabar, there is a Ramayana. I am from Malabar. You are not from Malabar. Right?
Yes.
And there is a beautiful Ramayana. And it's like a beautiful Muslim song. They also had Ramayana. Arabic Ramayana is also there.
Sri Lanka also having a good
Oh,
Ramayana.
there are 83 varieties. In one of the Ramayana, Sita is the daughter of Ravana. In Mapla Ramayana, there is a beautiful way of explaining the 10 heads. All that is enjoyable. So I am saying it's an epic. So for you, it is some concept. So somebody else, it could be some other concept. Yeah.
Thank you.
Good, nice.
TP sir.
Yeah.
Dr. TP. This is the first time I am attending your Gita class.
You are fortunate.
It was a wonderful class, I think. I want to hear several times. Your Gita class is very fantastic.
We had last year so many, but I don't know why you missed it.
I missed it. I missed it, but I attended all the meeting, but I missed
Yeah, but probably Dilip ji did not put my Gita class in the normal email groups.
Maybe like that only. You were having a Saturday, Sunday Gita class is there. No? I was not able to attend.
Yeah, many people did not attend. Who are in contact. It is all there on the YouTube.
Yeah. Okay. I got one doubt. You said that Iran.
Kripacharya.
No. Several parts of the world were involved in that our Mahabharata.
Yeah.
But I think this Iran and all other parts, Afghanistan, all other parts of the world included in the Mahabharata.
Yeah.
That may be the story like that.
Not story. See, actually, it is not. It is.
That was a mistake.
Yeah.
See, that may be the real thing came like that only. That was all these areas come under the boundary of our great Mahabharata.
Yeah.
Maybe like that only. I think.
Yeah. See, that is because even if you look at Aryabhada's Aryabhadiyam, you can see description of the sun revolving around the earth. It is explained with all these land becoming part of Bharata.
Correct.
Langa Vatsepura Vandistaneshwara Suralayan. Langa and Vatsyapuram. Vatsyapuram is our Khajuraho. If you connect Langa to Khajuraho and put a line, a thread, and that is called Greenwich Meridian for Bharat earlier.
Yes.
Okay. And what are all the different parts of the world which is Langayam? In Langa, Udayo, Yo, Langayam. When it is Udayam, early morning in Langa, Ardharatram, half sunlight will be over, evening will be Romagadeshe Ardharatram Syat. In Rome it will be evening. You see, we understood the earth was a globe. So we did not describe India alone. We described even up to Rome.
Yeah.
So it was there part of our mathematics also. So Astamaye Samiduryo Eva, that is how it says. I think so. Astamaye Udayo yo Lankayam, so Astamayo Savidureva Siddhapure Madhyano Evagodyam Romagadeshe Vishayam Sa Ardharatram Syat. Rome is also mentioned. Romagadesham is Rome.
Oh.
Yeah. Astamayam, Savidurevam is the western part.
Surya Kshetra in Rome,
Yeah.
very near to this Pope's cathedral.
Yeah,
I
even-
saw a Surya, still it is there.
Yeah.
That Surya Kshetra is there.
It's there in Rome, yes. Because once upon a time they also had nature as Bhagavan. The God was nature.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Chachaji,
Yeah.
can I ask again?
Yes.
When Gita was talking about meditation or worshipping, I have a question of myself. When you visit a temple which is not the one you always visit, sometimes you start crying looking at the deity. What is that? Is it a bhakti yoga? Is it a punya karma of last life? Why do
No,
you feel,
because
lot of energy over there
Yeah.
in the sanctum?
that is because
What could be the reason?
all of us have been taught by the tradition, practices, rituals that yes, assume that I lost something, I have a feeling which I cannot express. Definitely when a close relative comes to me, I will become tearful. Right? Similarly, you have a close person with you, that is God, Bhagavan, Ishvara, Murti. So the Murti Sankalpa which you have is like a guardian for you. That is the concept which is got into each one of us. So what will happen automatically when you go to your person who is a mentor for you, who is a person who will take care of you, we will burst into tears. That's part of one of the bhakti. Bhakti bhavam can be in different ways. Right? Bhakti itself is of 9 different types. What is Meera's bhakti is not what is the bhakti of our Bhishma Pitamaha. The Bhishma Pitamaha's bhakti is not what is the mother of Krishna's bhakti. That is not the bhakti for Radha. Radha's bhakti is entirely different from her mother's, his mother's bhakti too. Pandava's bhakti is entirely different from Patanjali's bhakti. Gandhari's bhakti is entirely different. So bhakti can be in different style. Bhakti can be hugging and then smiling and kissing. Right? We have a very peculiar temple in my place, Malabar, where generally God is not gifted with the flowers. The pujari will hug and then put his... No, he will hug. The hugging is the prayer for him. Very rarely you will see such things. Can you imagine the deity Murti is being hugged by the priest, and that is how the Acharya is. Got it? So bhakti can be in different style. 9 types of bhaktis are there.
Good. Thanks.
Any more questions? Okay. Then in that case, maybe one bhajan, Gabriel. See how is his bhakti.
Not 9, actually 11 types are explained. I missed it. Padaseva, Vandanam, Archanam, Smaranam, Kirtanam, Sravanam, and Madhuryam, Valsalyam, Sakhyam, Dasyam, Shantam. 11 types of bhaktis are mentioned. I was referring the notes which made by me when my guru taught me this.
Good.